Welcome to the Geek Out Room podcast. Don't forget you can listen to us over on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Just type in the Geek Out Room. You should find us. And if you want to watch our episodes, you can watch it over on the YouTube channel, Sauceless Entertainment. With that being said, this is a spoiler review for Wonder Man. So we're talking spoilers, what I really enjoyed, what my rating for the series is. We're going to dive into it. Again, if you have not seen Wonder Man yet and you want spoiler free, we have a review for that as well. Or you can just bookmark this, go watch the series. It's 8 episodes long, 34 minutes each. Come on back and join us. With that being said, we're diving in. Let's get it. So, let me start with the actors real quick. The whole entire cast did well. Even the people who had like 2 speaking lines did well. I feel like they were very intentional with who they wanted. And I felt like it was a fun choice all the way around. Now, when it comes to the leads, right? Yahya Abdul-Mateen II and Sir Ben Kingsley. Amazing chemistry. Yahya plays Simon, aka Wonder Man. Sir Ben Kingsley reprises his role as Trevor / aka the fake Mandarin in Iron Man 3, right? And he was in Shang-Chi for a second as well and all that good stuff. So they had amazing chemistry. And this series does not work. Wonder Man does not work as a series without these two being phenomenal and on their A game. And they really came here on that. And I think that out of all the roles, cause I'm not gonna lie, Yahya did an amazing job as in the Watchmen series. He did an amazing job, right? But this one was probably his best role. And for Sir Ben Kingsley, as one of the best actors of all time, this is probably his best role. This may be controversial to many. This is the best role I think he's had, be it the role or his performance, or both. I think both, in a long time. In fact, I think this is probably one of, and I could be getting my history wrong unless I'm forgetting an award. I think this would be his best chance at getting some type of award recognition for a role he's done past like 10 years. Because this is really well done here. Him as Trevor, he feels at home. It feels seamless. It's a little subtle performances, especially the ones he gives in the episode where they go and visit Simon's family, right? And that episode where he's just in the house, kind of like a fish out of water situation, and he's trying to get dirt on Simon's powers and the incidents and stuff, and you see his interaction with the family because you see like there is something riding on it. He does have pressure on him, right? Even though he can be aloof, he can be a little goofy. This is the first episode where you really start feeling that kind of pressure that he's under to find something. And not only that, he's starting to really enjoy Simon's company. He's starting to really think of him as a friend. He's in this dude's family home, for Christ's sake, right? And he's starting to feel that. And you can see in the performance from Sir Ben Kingsley where he starts getting a little impatient and a little short-tempered here and there. He's starting to listen to these different stories. He's starting to empathize with Simon a little bit, because what's cool, and I'm going to get into this, I guess, a little bit later as well, but what's cool about this is that this show, one of the places where it really shines is the ability to really comment on someone having a past, or wanting to bury that past and not wanting the past to come back in front of you. Usually when you have a past, it always comes back. It does. And so this show did a really good job commentating on that. And so seeing Ben Kingsley's performance there was really cool. And then seeing Yahya handle it, right? And his performance, right? And his little song and dance of getting more and more irritated, more and more worked up until his powers manifest themselves really for the first time, where we actually see it, and seeing him destroy that island table, right? And seeing why he's so dangerous, why it could be a little scary, right? Because I think the first one he does is off screen. So that was really interesting in that episode. But yeah, those two performances, man, solid. Yaya killed it here. I liked the episode. First of all, the comedic timing between the two, especially the episode where they're like in the house because they want the flash drive that showed Simon's abilities when he beat the guys who were trying to jump Trevor, right? Seeing the comedic timing between the two of them and each having their moments to have comedy but also have serious moments was really cool. And it was just a solid overall time, man. And I think also like the best episode for Yaya was, I forgot which number episode it was. Maybe it was episode 7, where he finds out that Trevor's been spying on him. That last like 20 minutes, that whole episode really, for sure, class action or class acting. But that last 20 minutes was really the sweet spot. And also for Ben Kingsley, because when Trevor's getting grilled by that journalist, and he's the one to explode. He's the one to lose a temper. That's the first time it really happens, if I think in the series. And to see that switch and see like those are the moments I'm talking about acting wise that's really brilliant, and why I'm saying like this was an acting clinic and one of the best roles and also best performances out of Sir Ben Kingsley. Like I really think he really enjoyed being able to like reprise this character, but not just to reprise it for the sake of just like gags. Like he really got to explore this character and breathe life into this character. I think this is a original character for the MCU, right? So that's really cool. As we can, there's a lot to play with. There's a lot to make up. There's a lot to forge with this character. But yeah, seeing the last 20 minutes of episode 7, I believe, and seeing Yaya there, man, and just flexing his acting chops, I think was so solid, so fun to see. Byron Bowers, man, episode 4, that performance as Doorman was so solid. Is so solid, and we can kind of transition into now not just the performance, but what I like. Episode 4, big shining moment. It felt like an episode out of Atlanta, right? Marvel usually does amazing jobs with episode 4s because it's halfway through, and they did not disappoint here. I think this is the best episode 4 they've had since Falcon the Winter Soldier. And this episode, they're showing basically why actors can't have superpowers, right? And I thought it was so cool. It was so cool to see because it is, and I like how they tied it in to what the entertainment is like. Like, for example, I did my first feature film. I did my first SAG-AFTRA approved feature film last year. And so that was my first time. I produced it, I directed it, wrote it. It was a documentary. And so I had to go through the process of contacting SAG. I had to go through the process of contacting an agent. Got to work with an actor who was a part of SAG-AFTRA, so it needed to be a SAG-AFTRA union-approved project. So I had to go through all those hoops, and I really, luckily it was over Zoom, and so I didn't have to pay for like insurance. It wasn't like an action thing where I had to pay for insurance, all that stuff. So like basically, I really enjoyed as someone who knows the process and dealt with the process and did all the paperwork and pay the money and all that stuff. It was really interesting to see how they used that process for acting and insurances and all that stuff you need, cover and pay for and all that stuff and provide. It's funny they used that and tied it into superpowers because realistically, yeah, it would be really expensive, man, to have a superhero. Besides the fact he's a superhero or she's a superhero, it would be crazy to have to pay for insurance because accidents could definitely happen, right? And so that was super cool to see that and see what Doorman ended up doing with Josh Gad. And that was crazy. I didn't expect that. And what's also cool is that it kind of ties in and gives a back door for Cloak and Dagger to come into the universe. So that's cool because I think Cloak and Dagger is a show that's highly underrated. Highly underrated. Well, maybe I'll dive into that in a different podcast episode. But so there's all kinds of nuggets. And that's like I believe that episode was still 34 minutes. And that's what's impressive about this show. They have 34 minutes to tell what they're trying to tell in this episode. And I think that Andrew Guest is one of the best head writers and showrunners in the business right now, because this was well done. I thought the episodes fit so much content in the 34 episodes without it being, or 34-minute episodes without it being too much, where you were getting overloaded with information. I thought it was paced brilliantly. I thought that they did a great job refining the CGI, great job refining any of the, it's not like action heavy stuff, but the moments where they did have to use it, I think they did a really good job at showing the power, showing how unstable Simon can be. And I think that it was, just a strongly written show. The writers' room did an amazing job, but as head writer, and showrunner, amazing job by Andrew Guest. Daniel's gonna do an amazing job directing, man. I'm excited for Spider-Man. I really am. The vision's there, directing wise, seeing how they use. Oh man, the shot where Simon was walking in episode 7, at end of episode 7, where Simon's walking to the sound stage and it's like wobbling. It's almost like a pseudo Spike Lee shot, but it's wobbling. You see Simon just become more unstable, seem to be more and more. You know what's coming. You know what's coming, and you're like, oh, he's super angry and besides himself right now. He has no way to calm down, so this is going to be something crazy. And it was, and when he destroyed the sound stage, you knew the jig was up. And I thought it was just so well done, man. I thought it was so well done. Maybe it was episode 6, not 7, I forgot. But either way, that's how much content they fit per episode. Is that when you, episode 8 felt so long, but in a good way. It felt like an epilogue to a movie. You know what I mean? Or like a series. It was so interesting, dude. And that's what I'm saying. The writing has to be really tight and consistent and not wasteful. And I don't feel any waste in here. And you need to, because otherwise it would be too much information in these episodes or not enough. And it'll be frustrating either way. And I feel like this was a great sample size, serving size for what they did per episode. Very fun. Very fun indeed. What else do I have? I think I already said this, but I also wanted to just hark back to episode 4, where they focused on Doorman. I don't know if I said it felt like an episode of Atlanta, but it did. If at the end of the episode, they gave writing credits and it was like Donald Glover, right, was a part of this writing team, or him or his brother and his brother, I wouldn't be surprised. It really felt like an episode of Atlanta, and I mean that as the highest compliment humanly possible. It was an amazing episode that commented on superhero fatigue. I saw people saying that. That's not what I took from it. I didn't see the episode commenting on superhero fatigue. I saw it commenting on the cycle of trendiness, right? Because in this day and age where there's so much going through the cycle and there's always a new kid in town type stuff, gimmicks get old, gimmicks get worn out, right? What Doorman can do is very impressive and should last a lifetime. But they're like, hey, Agent came like, hey, is there anything else you can do? Is there any other powers you have? Because this Doorman stuff's kind of getting lame. It's kind of getting worn out. And that's insane because they threw him in every commercial. They threw him in all these gimmicks. They threw him on a late night television circuit. They gave him the movies deals, all this stuff. And so I thought it was more of a comment on the cycle of the entertainment industry and what is really like to be an actor and to be hot stuff 1 second and then be a nobody, quote unquote, the next second. You know what I mean? Like you're on top of the world making all this money, but when you don't, when something, it's just, everything's so temporary. Everything can be so temporary. It could go just like that. It can go just as fast as it came. And that's what's scary about it. And I thought that was a really brilliant way to do that. You know what I mean? Like I thought that was really, really sick. Consistent writing. Yeah, so episode 4 was good. It was one of the best episodes of television I've ever seen, to be honest with you. I really enjoyed it. So shout out to Byron Bowers. I said Brian. Byron Bowers. Shout out to you. And Josh Gad. It's nice to see him and stuff again too. Yes, exploring the complexity of the entertainment industry was really cool. I mean, to see what it's like to be a struggling actor, right? having to land auditions, having to work your ass off, having to do the exercises, man. I mean, there were shots in this thing and dialogue in this thing that was so good and goofy. And again, I mean that in a as a compliment. Really cool. And then using the complexity of the entertainment industry to show how it is to struggle with dealing with your past, right? For Simon, it is his past of his powers and how dangerous it can be and how he doesn't understand it. And for Trevor, it is the Mandarin stuff and how it follows him and how he can't go anywhere or do anything without being mentioned as a terrorist and all this other stuff, and all that good stuff, right? And seeing how he kind of took acting for granted and stuff, and why he's taking this next or maybe his last opportunity so seriously, and why he cares, or part of the reason why he cares so much about Simon is like, I was where you're at, and I don't want you to lose an opportunity and be forced to do something really grimy like I had to do. You know what I mean? Like, I really liked how he saw something in Simon. I really liked that. And it was really cool. And that's what made episode 8 so great, right? You have the movie premiere. Turns out it was a great film. The suit looked sick, by the way. The Wonder Man suit looked sick as hell. So shout out to the costume department for that. But movie premiere, great. Always a fan of a turtleneck and blazer. Great combination. Underrated in my opinion. Seeing him and his brother, just be like, yo, like, you did it. Cool. Even though his brother was a huge dick. like a huge dick. I think that's the one complaint I will have. I think the brother relationship it felt like you know what I mean? Like, again, only 8 episodes, 34 minutes each, only so much you can do. I get it. But I just feel like if you're going to go there, I just wish there was a little bit more to it. It just felt like he was a stereotypical brother that feels like he's wasting money on you type stuff. Instead of like, it just felt kind of too quick to forgive. Like, yeah, I'm going to talk good about my brother. I feel like there's so much animosity there, so much disgust that like, but that's a very nitpicky, neither here nor there type thing. Again, time constraints, all that good stuff. I understand. There's people's traumas. The last episode, like I said, great finale, man. No super epic boss fight for no reason. Again, consistency for writing from beginning to end. It felt like a whole story. I felt like I got what I needed from it. Him, using the, I like to misdirect a little bit, where it's like, oh, he's like studying for a new part. Because he doesn't know where Trevor is. Like, Trevor's gone. He's done. So you're thinking like, oh, you just, this is epilogue. I'm not even looking at the time on the thing, so I don't know. I'm thinking there's like 4 minutes left. I'm thinking there's like a last second teaser to maybe a potential season 2 type of situation, whatever, or leaving the door open for a potential season 2. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking there's like 5 minutes left. Now I know when there's like 15, 20 minutes or whatever left, and I mean this again as all compliments. And then he got this guy in the middle of nowhere, and you're following him, and the guy looks like he's sick or something. So you're thinking, like, oh, Trevor is studying to be like maybe some kind of cancer patient or some kind of like whatever. He's studying someone for a role, not knowing he's using that as a guise to get into the facility where Trevor is and to break him out. And I thought that was very sweet. I thought that was super cool, and that's how you end a show properly. How you began it. Like, that's a great way to go about this finale. And sticking the landing is very difficult. I'm very critique heavy on endings. So it's not easy. They did a great job. I also will say that I gave this show it's a 10 out of 10, dude. I'll watch it again. Like, this is really good. Has a lot of great fun moments, well directed, well written, well executed, man. You can tell they really cared about what they're doing, that everyone had a lot of fun. Like, you can really tell when projects do that. Lighting, I thought, was really solid. There were shots and scenes that were very well lit, very intentionally lit. And when it comes to MCU shows, it can be really difficult. That's one of my bigger critiques about the MCU shows in general. So there's that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. But those are that's like the big thing right there. But I really liked that. Again, I thought it was proper execution, man. This is a fun show that you're going to enjoy if you haven't already seen it. If you have seen it, definitely recommend it to people. Run up these numbers, man. I know it's number one already. Let's have it trending for another. Black History Month's coming up. Let's have it trending all February, man. I'm so serious. This thing's so good. It's so great. And shout out to everyone who was a part of this process. So, really like it. Highly recommend. But now it's y'all's turn. Let me know in the comments below. Did you enjoy Wonder Man? Have you seen it? What was one of your favorite episodes or moments from Wonder Man? That's what I really want to know. If you've seen it, what is your favorite episode and slash or moment from the season? See you on the next one. Keep geeking out. Peace.